I already lost speed. Need some more water. My day is all topsy-turvy since I didn't wake up anywhere near my, well, I didn't get out of bed anywhere near my normal schedule, so now I'm all out of it on what to do since it was later, getting out and about. Well, it was later eating up than normal. What do we got? Make a U-turn. Ah, I could've just went. Never know right here. That was annoying. Forgot how abrupt it was right there. Was thinking there was another little walk thingy, but it was only the one behind that was behind me, and the one part of the driveway was too narrow. Hopefully I'll feel better when I get home. Loosen up a bit. Did multiple stretches. Get on your own lane, bro. Not just at once. Did a little when I first woke up. Did some more a few minutes before I left, just to see if it would help out once I started going. I did some in the shower too, just to see if that would help with the hot water. Do some stretches, see if it would loosen things up. I barely ever stretch. I probably should more, but I'm not always in pain, so I don't really think about it. But then there's days like today where it sucks a lot. I just slept wrong and it messed me up, unfortunately. Ooh. I should go look at the new Goodwill site. This place over here, it was supposed to be a Goodwill, but not a normal one. Something in between, not the bins, okay, not quite the normal retail, like something in between, where you get stuff for cheap, but not as cheap as the bins. But I don't know if they're still doing it, because as I mentioned the other day, they are reopening Goodwill. And actually, when we first moved here, if I moved over enough, once I had to show it to the left, my left, when we originally moved here, that was the local Goodwill for us, which was cool because it's not that far from the house. But then they moved it before it closed to the opposite side of town, which isn't that far, but not fun when you don't have a car. Hello. So the new one is going to be opening on Thursday. I guess I don't know why they did it, but they closed 9 Bay Area locations earlier this year, and this is the 3rd or 4th that is reopening or about to reopen, depending the scenario. But this one relocated, obviously. I think a couple local stores closed because that's where it is now. Like those cheap clothing stores in random strip malls. That sell random brands. I need to remind myself to put a belt on this bike. I keep forgetting to grab. I have like 3. I have 3, maybe 4. I just keep forgetting. But now, ever since I've had a one bike with it, I've gotten used to it. I was swapping until I had more than one. That way they were just already there. Didn't have to remember it. Alright. The interesting part about the new Goodwill, there's the main thrift store I usually go to before I got a bunch of free clothes that I haven't gone to since last year before they closed. It's across the street, so I wonder how that's gonna fare, having them be across the street from each other instead of like 5 to 10 minutes apart, depending on traffic. There's from what I hear, there's a cool local thrift store I'm about to pass, coming up on the left. I haven't gone there yet. Been there a few months. Found out about it on next door one day. Trying not to go thrifting until all my current clothes inventory is listed, because I know it will set me back if I don't. What's right there? Trying to get that listed, because then once it's all done, I can get more stuff. That's the thought. It's just taking forever because of not feeling good on and off, but mostly the 6 or 7, 8 months I didn't have proper internet. Didn't want to deal with it over data. If I would have had less stuff, I might have, but so many items, didn't want to go that route. Might have helped, don't know though. Let's forget about this sidewalk. Not that bad. Across the street to the right, if you can see it, that's where Goodwill will be in that shopping center. Let's see what happens. Oh goodness, that was no fun. Way too hard of a pedal. Didn't even go to a complete stop. Alright, let's see what happens. I might get kicked out. That's also ride your bicycles. I just want to see what we got. Yeah. I'll drive my bike here. I'm a rebel. He's also a rebel. Supposed to be over here. Oh, right there. Ah, okay. It's right there. On this side. This one is the other side. Okay, so now I know where it is. On Google Maps it said it was the other side. Next to Togo's. Much smaller than the last location. And they're not accepting donations, which is weird. Because they did at the last location and it was in a similar shopping center, just a little bigger. And this spot on the right with the brick wall and green or brown trim, that's the other thrift store I hit a lot because it's not that far. It's just the prices suck, but that's actually been like that since we've lived here. It's always been, for whatever reason, overpriced. But you can luck out. Sometimes. Because they do, every day is a different color for sale. From 25, 55 to 75%. It just rotates daily. Plus, not everyone price is high, so sometimes if you're like me and you spend the time looking through everything, you could find like a nice Nike shirt for like, say, like 50 bucks, or like somewhere between 30 and 50 or a little more. But then you go down the same rack, or maybe the bottom rack, or one of the ones behind you, since they have the top rack, bottom rack section type deal. If you do that, sometimes you can find something for a better price. the prices are all over the place. From like 25 cents to like 100 plus. Doesn't really make sense. They're just trying to get people like me not to come, because they don't want us pesky resellers to buy on the cheap and then flip it. But most people, for whatever reason, prefer to buy from a reseller. Maybe because we put the effort into checking it out versus a thrift store. Since most people, like me, grew up going to thrift stores when they're actually cheap. And it was the reason to go there because of budgets. I'm gonna go home because this noise is giving me a headache. Kind of wish I brought my wallet. There's a pizza spot in the next a few places away from Goodwill in the same shopping center, and now I'm approaching it again. It's kind of expensive though for a cheese slice, since I could just go to American Canyon and possibly get a bigger slice for like $2 or $3 less, depending if I use cash or card, since there's a card fee.